Well, g'day avocado enthusiasts and welcome to 2025. It's hard to believe we're already here. I hope you're having a fantastic new year and I appreciate you coming to join us on this video. It's just great to have you here. This YouTube channel will turn 7 this year. That's a little hard to believe. I started it in 2018 where I was just following an avocado and it didn't end up growing, and then it's just kind of grown from there, and I've really enjoyed exploring all things avocados and other houseplant things. The goal of this channel remains to grow an avocado tree from seed to the point of bearing fruit whilst documenting the process, and that is still happening. That's happening, and the trees that I'm following for that are doing really, really well. That's in the Avocado Diaries video, and I wanted to do a couple of things in this video. I wanted to talk to you a bit about my avocado plans for this year and also make an announcement. But before we can do any of that, I want to set up a time lapse. It's been a little while since I've done a time lapse on this YouTube channel, and I really like doing them. I did quite a number of years ago a 5-month time lapse where I took a capture every 5 minutes for 5 months, and it looked fantastic. Just to be able to see the avocado dancing was really lovely. And I also did another one where I did it for a full year, but I only took 1 photo a day, which I thought made a lot of sense. But when you play it back at 30 frames a second, you have a 10-second long time lapse, or 10 and a bit seconds, because it's only 365 captures, which for the amount of work, the payoff wasn't exactly what I was after. It was a year-long time lapse, but you didn't see as much as I wanted to. So I'm going to do it a little bit differently this year. But before I do that, I need to actually start the seeds. So let's do that. I'm starting by peeling the avocado seeds. As we found out in our first international avocado experiment, it germinates faster if we peel the seed. So I'm doing that. I left these out in a warm spot for a few days. I find that it makes the seed coat come off much easier if it's a little drier. Now I'm setting 2 of these up with the water and toothpick method because it's just so much fun seeing the roots grow. We found out in our second international avocado experiment that it's quicker to grow them just straight in potting mix, but I want to see the roots grow. But the other 2 I am setting up in potting mix, so I'm using my regular potting mix, which is about 2 parts perlite, 1 part the cheapest potting mix I can find, and 1 part coconut peat. You can find a link to a video where I explain that all in the comments below, and we're ready to go. So I prepared my 4 seeds, and it's time to put them up on the shelf, ready for the time lapse for the year. I love making time lapses, and I'm really excited to be able to share this one with you. I'm not going to just take one really long one. I could, but I'm actually going to take weekly time lapses and share them in short form content on my various social media where short form content is found. So if you're following me on Instagram or subscribe to me on YouTube or follow me on TikTok, which I still have somehow, you'll be able to see that time lapse as it goes. So make sure you're following along to see how they're going. I hope they grow. Occasionally you'll start one and seeds don't grow. That's why I've got 4 of them. So hopefully we'll have some success there. I'm excited. I want to talk about this year. But before we talk about this year, let's talk about last year. Last year, you may have noticed, you may not have, I did not put out a lot of videos in kind of the last quarter. I am not entirely sure what it was. I think I was probably a little burnt out. You know, I've been doing this for a long time. I've got multiple YouTube channels on the go just because I really like them. And I generally find myself these days being a little bit time poor. And I just wasn't working on a lot that I was excited about. So I gave myself permission to pull back a little bit and to publish fewer videos. The videos I did publish, I wasn't super happy with them either. They were longer than usual and not necessarily avocado related. So I did some other houseplant things, which, you know, they turned into reasonable videos, and I know some of you really enjoyed them, which I'm very grateful for. But for me, I really love making the kind of high information, fairly concise, well explained educational plant videos, especially around avocados, which I haven't done a lot of in the last little while. So over the last month or 2, I've been thinking and planning about 2025 and putting some things in place for some videos that I can make that I am really happy with and I think you will really enjoy as well. The kind of more classic Scott grows an avocado tree where I'm just explaining things about avocados, showing you how to do things, teaching, those kinds of things. So ones that I can put a lot more time into, ones that are a bit more concise, but really explain a topic well and hopefully get you excited about learning and about plants, about avocado trees. That's really what I want to do. So my goal for 2025 is to put out one higher quality video a month. That is, in the past, during 2020, 2021, I was doing weekly. The last couple of years has been kind of fortnightly. I'm still really keen to make videos on both Scott Grows an Avocado Tree, and that's pretty cool. But I want to make sure that I'm not overstretching myself and that I'm putting the time into videos that I'm really proud of and have spent a while working on. And that's the goal. One fairly high, fairly concise, educational video a month. If there are other videos in the mix there, like this month there's multiple videos going up, then that's great as well. But I want to just take the pressure off myself a bit to really take the time to cook a video properly and make sure that it's ready for me to enjoy making and enjoy the video as the end product, and for you to hopefully really enjoy as well. So expect slightly fewer videos from me this year. I mean, I didn't make many more than 12 actually last year, it turns out, but monthly videos from me this year, and they'll be better. There is something else that I would like to announce for 2025. This is something I've been thinking about for a while and something that I think it's time and I'm excited about. I've been spending a bit of time working on the back end of things and what I'm going to be doing. But folks, I'm starting a Patreon. I'm going to go and do some shopping for some of the things that I need and talk about it now. I want to highlight right now that I'm not leaving YouTube. I am still going to be putting avocado content on YouTube. Nothing avocado related is going behind a paywall. So you can expect to see the regular kind of things, hopefully improved, on Scott Grows an Avocado Tree. But there are going to be some perks for being on Patreon. I'm going to go and actually get one started right now. So let's go. It's got golf balls. Why not? Oh my goodness, look at the size of these things. Wow. They are large. Large house, look at that. It's the size of my hand. Goodness me, look at that. Glorious. I don't think they have what I'm after. So I've got a few other bits and bobs, but not exactly what I wanted. So we're gonna go somewhere else in a minute. I'll try this one. I've been extremely grateful for everything that YouTube has offered me so far, and especially you, my audience, have enabled me to do. I've been monetized for a while, and having that, monthly income from YouTube, it's not much, but it has allowed me to do things like buy lighting, buy microphones, buy cameras, replace computers, to hopefully make my videos the best that they can be. And that's been really fantastic, but I'm finding that there's more that I'd like to do, and some things that my skills are not really exceptionally well suited for at this point, or that I'm not got the time or the expertise in order to do. So as an example, really basic, I'd love to occasionally be able to hire an animator. I have hired an animator before for a particular project. It wasn't cheap, which is kind of my point, but I was really happy with what we're able to do through that. I've done a little bit of animating myself, but it's not something that I find myself having a lot of time for at the moment, nor something that I'm very good at. And so I'm thinking that, if I were able to have more money coming in, I could use that to animate certain things. If it's just an explainer or whatever, being able to up the production and quality of Scott Grows an Avocado Tree videos is something that I'm really interested in doing. I'm also finding myself being very time poor at the moment. I work a very time intense job, and I wonder if Patreon, the financial support of different people, would allow that to ease off a little bit. That's really pie in the sky kind of thinking, but you've got to build somewhere. Because ideally I'd like to be putting out more than one video a month, but in order to do it well, I don't have the time right now. And if I had more time, then I could do more. But I'm also very aware that things are expensive at the moment. Another reason for starting a Patreon. But I don't want to limit what you can get for free on YouTube. Like, this is where I live, this is where Scott Grows an Avocado Tree is, and there's not gonna be any avocado content going behind a paywall. So everything that I make about avocados is going to be on YouTube. There will be some perks for being a part of the Patreon. So if you are so inclined, what can you expect on my Patreon? First, I've got 2 tiers of support. The first one starts at $3 a month, which is about 5 Australian dollars a month. And that is the Germination Enthusiast tier. Now, what do you get as a part of that tier? There are a couple of things. First, you get a credit in each Scott Grows an Avocado Tree video that comes out after you start supporting it. It may not be that month, just based on when I make them, but certainly the following month, your name will appear in the credits as a supporter of Scott Grows an Avocado Tree. But there are other things as well. First, you know how I just set up a time lapse? Well, I'm going to have, and this is only going to work if I actually get people joining the Patreon. So, you know, I run that risk a little bit now by putting this out there, but I'm going to have weekly sponsors of the time lapse. Now, what that means is that your name just goes on the time lapse for a week. So obviously right now I don't have anyone because I haven't launched the Patreon, and there's going to be 1 or 2 of them up on my Instagram already. But what that means is that each week I will do a random draw from my supporters, and I will be putting one person's name on the time lapse as the sponsor of the time lapse. Part of the Patreon actually does go straight to supporting it because it's not free to keep the light on and the phone charging all year. We're on solar in my house, so it's not actually very expensive, especially during summer, and the buyback here is not terrible, but it is going to cost a little bit. So you're actually literally sponsoring the time lapse. And you get access to some Patreon exclusive content because, as you just saw me go to the shops for, there's going to be a new series which is just for patrons, and that is Scott Grows a Kiwi Vine. It's going to be bringing it right back to like kind of classic, original 7 years ago Scott Grows an Avocado Tree, where it's really just me giving updates on avocado seeds growing, and I thought it was a lot of fun. I don't really do that anymore. There's a lot more of my face on the camera, but it's going to be taking it back to basics. It's going to be 2 or 3 minute videos each month that you can only find on Patreon. If you'd like a touch more, and I do mean only a touch, if you're able or wanting to give slightly more than $3 a month, you can give $5 a month, or about 8 Australian dollars, I think is where it rounds to on Patreon, where you can get all of those things and an extra entry into the random draw to be an avocado time-lapse sponsor of the week. So really the same, except you get a higher likelihood of getting your name on the time-lapse. I'm going to be making the videos regardless of whether I have any Patreon supporters for the next few months. If we get to kind of halfway through the year and I'm still at 0, I may update and take it all down. But at the moment, that is the plan. You know, even if I only get 1 or 2 people on Patreon, I will make videos for those 2 people. If you were to support me, $3 a month US, that's about the same as watching, depending on what time of year, about 500 Scott Grows an Avocado Tree videos a month based on the AdSense. So it would be very helpful, but I understand that not everyone can do it, and just watching the videos does do something. So if you are interested, please feel free to check out my Patreon. You can also just read through everything that I've just said on Patreon. There is a link in the description below where you can find out all about those things. But if you join, you get your name in the credits of upcoming Scott Grows an Avocado Tree videos. You get a chance to have your name on the time-lapse videos each week, and you'll get exclusive Scott Grows a Kiwi Vine content. And, you know, just knowing that you're financially supporting someone who really enjoys making videos and wants to make them better and get people's help to make them better. But in saying that, the stuff that you see on YouTube is hopefully only going to improve. I will have slightly fewer videos this year by design because I want to make sure that I'm really spending the time that I need to make them really good. And I'm confident that you'll enjoy the kind of things that I have planned. But if you want to see regular weekly avocado time lapses, which will be going all year, please check out my Instagram or TikTok. I'm not going to do much on TikTok. I'm mostly on Instagram, but it's also going to be up on YouTube Shorts. So feel free to go and check all of those things out. There are links in the description to those things. And it's going to be a fabulous year, I think. I'm really looking forward to this journey, this slight adjustment, and making some better YouTube videos. If you can't, or if you don't want to support financially at the moment, but you still want to support the channel, subscribing is really helpful. And I totally get that not everybody's able to support people on Patreon. I understand, and there's no problem. There's no expectation that you will all go and support me on Patreon, because that would be unreasonable. So please continue to watch my videos this year. I am committed to making higher quality videos for you this year. And if you really enjoyed things, feel free to share them amongst your friends. Share things on Instagram, share things on TikTok. I don't know really how that works. I don't use it a lot, but we're hopefully gonna have lots of fun this year. This video is long enough, so I will wrap it up there. I am excited about 2025. I hope you are too, and I can't wait to share the things that I have in the pipeline with you. So thanks for joining me here. Thank you for being an avocado enthusiast and being on this avocado growing journey with me. I really appreciate it. I will see you in my next video. Take care. Happy New Year. I'll see you on Patreon, some of you, and we'll see you next time. Oh, I might put the first Scott Grows a Kiwi Vine publicly, just so you get a taste of what you might want to join with. That's it.
Scott grows an avocado tree. Scott grows an avocado tree. Scott grows an avocado tree. Scott grows an avocado tree.